All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's going to come. Shalom to your Akim out there. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. All right. So just jumping in on the current events, man. All right, we're looking at an empire that's falling apart right before our eyes, man. It's crumbling, okay, and it's breaking apart at the seams, man. And it's literally infighting that's taking place. You see what I'm saying? Literally. All right. There's 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 firings of high-ranking officials. You know what I'm saying? There's sedition being formulated. There's all kinds of things that are taking place that's signifying the downfall of this kingdom. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. It reads, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" You see, and what we're seeing right now is a nation that is divided, a kingdom that is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Since those ground troops have hit Karg Island, we've seen all types of all kinds of generals stepping down. You know what I'm saying? They're now openly coming against the administration. They are now openly, being defiant against those that were higher up, that were higher branch. You see? So I got a couple videos that I gotta get into, man. Lord willing, this won't take too long because I gotta get out to camp. But I had to hop on this, man. I got a bunch of videos. I may not even be able to get to them all, but it is what it is. Let's see how the Spirit takes me. Okay, so let's start off with this video right here. Okay, check this out.
Incredibly ruthless country. The amount of murder and mayhem that we've created around the world is just unbelievable. I was looking at a study the other day put out by Lancet, which is a scientific journal, and they did a study. This was put out, you can see it on the internet. It was put out in November of 2025. And what the article did was it looked at sanctions, American sanctions, from 1971 to 2021, 1971 to 2021. And it asked what were the consequences of those sanctions. And we murdered 38 million people. 38 million people. The amount of havoc we have wrought on the Middle East in recent years is just stunning. You think about it.
It's just stunning. All right? It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning, man. When you think about it, the scriptures call these devils the hammer of the whole earth. Right? The hammer of the whole earth. Let me get this in a couple precepts real quick. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. All right. This is definitely going to take longer than I wanted, but it is what it is. This is Isaiah chapter 14, and let's start at verse 6. It reads, let's start at verse 5. Let's start at verse 4. Salakia. All right, Isaiah 14:4. It reads, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Huh? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. You see, this is that nation. This is that nation that that smote the people, that smote all these other nations in wrath with a continual stroke. This is that nation, man. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, Jeremiah. Chapter 50, chapter 50, I think it's 50. Come. All right, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 22. It reads, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among nations? You see, Babylon has become the desolation among all these nations, man. This is spiritual Babylon, Babylon the Great, as is written in Revelation 17. You see what I'm saying? This is that daughter of Babylon. This is what it's talking about. You see? And this is what your Christian scholars and what your Christian pastors and all them, they don't want to do this. They don't want to link Babylon the Great to America. They don't want to do it, but they know that they have no other choice because there's no other nation that fits this prophecy of being a hammer to all these other nations, of being a destroying power against all these other nations, an oppressor against all these other nations, man, a bully to all these other nations. You see? When it says that the whore sitteth on many waters, it's talking about nations, kingdoms, tongues, people. You see?
The consequences of the Iraq War, what we do in places like Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, you understand we're using this tremendous economic leverage we have to basically starve people, to make them suffer, to inflict great punishment on.
Remember, there are two ways to conquer a nation. One is by the sword, and the other is by debt. And this nation, Babylon the Great, aka America, has used both of those methods. You see what I'm saying? This is why all these nations are moving away from the dollar. This is why all these nations are trying to distance themselves from this currency. You see what I'm saying? Because they know that it's always a death trap. It's always going to be used as leverage against them. You see? This is why Iran is allowing these ships to go through if they pay in the in the yuan, not the US dollar. You see?
So that they'll rise up against their government. You understand that this is what we're doing in Venezuela. This is what we're doing in Iran. We're inflicting massive punishment on these people. Given all that, I find it very difficult to talk about the United States as a noble country.
That's it. That's it right there, man. Let me take that back a little bit.
Given all that, I find it very difficult to talk about the United States as a noble country. I just don't think that we are exceptionally virtuous when it comes to foreign policy.
Boom. There you go. There you go. All right. Babylon the Great is not virtuous when it comes to foreign policy. You see, from the economic hitmen to the jackals to the militaries, this 3-point strategy is what they have used in order to topple all these countries, all these nations. Okay, they have been that hammer. All right, when you look at the General Wesley Clark, all right, General Wesley Clark, he said what? He said, That the way that these Edomites think, okay, is if every problem, if the only tool that you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail. You see what I'm saying? And they are that hammer of the whole earth. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. Let me take it back a little bit. All right. Right here. Salakia. Right there. All right. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. You see? Let me get this point right here. All right, that takes me straight to this this comment on the screen. All right. It's hard to think about the United States given all this that they're doing, all this that they have done throughout the entire world. It's hard to see them as a noble country. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. You see what I'm saying? What does that word liberal mean? It means noble. It means charitable. It means righteous. You see what I'm saying? It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, for his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. All right, going to the ESV, all right, the English Standard Version, it says, all right, Isaiah 32 and 5, the fool will no more be called noble. The fool will no more be called noble, nor the scoundrel said to be honorable. You see how prophecy is playing out? All right. In the NLT, it says, in that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. In that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. Scoundrels will not be respected. And nobody's respecting these devils anymore. All right. Nobody's respecting these Edomites. Nobody's seeing them as noble, as valiant, as righteous, as heroes. You see what I'm saying? Verse 6. Let me hit the NLT. It says, for fools speak foolishness to make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord. They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty. You see what I'm saying? Every time these devils go into the Bible, the only time they do so is when it's time to inflict oppression, when it's time to go to war, when they want to inflict damage, when they want to kill, when they want to steal, when they want to destroy. All right. That's John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy, man. All right. ESV, it says, for the fool speaks folly. For the fool speaks folly, and his heart is busy with iniquity, to practice ungodliness, to utter error concerning the Lord, to leave the craving of the hungry unsatisfied, and to deprive the thirsty of drink. You see? So, with that, let's go to the next video, man. We already 15 minutes in, man. Oh boy.
After assembling the most powerful army in the world, failing to win a war against a middle power, causing oil and gas prices to skyrocket, and delivering incoherent speeches, the golfer from Mar-a-Lago shamelessly admits to being...
Gotta take that back.
After assembling the most powerful army in the world, failing to win a war against a middle power...
The most powerful army in the world, failing against a middle power, being Iran. America is failing, and everyone can see this. The French can see this. The Germans can see this. The Polish can see this. Everyone can see this. UK, the British can see this. All the Arab nations, they can see this. Massive humiliations on every side, in every aspect, in every spectrum. All right. Resignations, firings, left and right, man. There's no coherent structure regarding this war. You see what I'm saying? None whatsoever. Where the hell is Bibi? You see what I'm saying? Nobody has seen Benjamin Malachowski in quite some time, man. You see what I'm saying? Let's take it back, man. This is juicy.
Powerful army in the world, failing to win a war against a middle power, causing oil and gas prices to skyrocket, and delivering incoherent speeches, the golfer from Mar-a-Lago shamelessly admits to being stunned by the Iranian response, which was entirely predictable, and now calls for help from his allies whom he was insulting just yesterday. And they reply to him, "You didn't consult anyone, you have no plan, and we have no reason to follow you blindly into the fog." Trump, the only elephant in the world who walks around with his own China shop, now has no choice but between two equally bad options. To withdraw shamefully, pretending, without convincing anyone, that he has achieved his objectives, or to trigger an escalation with results that have been known in advance since Vietnam, Iraq, or Afghanistan.
Okay, and what does he mean by that? What does he mean by that? America is stuck within this quagmire. America is stuck in between a rock and a hard place, man. All right, and as the senator just said, both options that are left to this man are equally devastating. On the one hand, if they turn tail and they leave this conflict, and this joker gets up there trying to tell the American people that they won the war and that they achieved all their objectives and whatnot, nobody will believe that. Everybody will be able to clearly say it straightforward. You know what I'm saying? All right, that this was a failure, that you failed this war, that you tucked in your tail and you ran away. You see what I'm saying? As this fool, you know what I'm saying, Nero gets on the podium and says, "Oh, we was running for our lives." You know what I'm saying? So here we are, man. You know what I'm saying? On the one hand, if you do this, if you run away, then all of the assets over the so-called Middle East, which is West Asia, all those assets over in West Asia will now become subsidiaries, will now become vassal states, will now become aligned with Iran, and it will only strengthen Iran. You see? That's on the one hand. If you do that, okay, and you can definitely say that the US dollar is completely finito. You know what I'm saying? But then on the opposite spectrum, you have an equally more dangerous outcome. All right. And as a matter of fact, this one is far more terrifying, because if you continue to escalate this thing, everyone in the military all right, everyone in the military community can see the writing on the wall, man. If this continues to escalate, there's only one outcome. There's only one move going forward, man. All right? And as the beloved Elder Malcolm says, that only option is the N word. Okay? That no nation is going to respect you after that. No nation is going to come to your aid after that. No nation is going to be allied with you after that point. You see what I'm saying? And you're in such a position now that even if you don't launch it, let's say the Amalekites launch it. You see? If they launch it, you're still held accountable, because you are now joined at the hip with these Amalekites, man. These so-called JOOs. You see? So no matter how this goes, all right, Babylon the Great is fucked. It's fucked. Let's go back.
Choice but between two equally bad options. To withdraw shamefully, pretending, without convincing anyone, that he has achieved his objectives, or to trigger an escalation with results that have been known in advance since Vietnam, Iraq, or Afghanistan. A quagmire, and in the end, a disgraceful departure, leaving the field open at the time to the communists, to Daesh, or to the Taliban.
All right.
Russia is about to enter the chat. Just now, we had Russian nuclear scientists that were caught in a deadly strike by U.S. and Israel in Iran. Shut up. Taking out a few of their own people. This, while very long-standing analysts just come out and say there is no way to exit this conflict without it going nuclear. But it gets a lot worse. Just now, we have leaks and alleged data showing that CENTCOM has been lying about U.S. fatalities this entire time. Like at the beginning, they said there was only like 5, 6, 7 people affected, and it was 130. Now they're speculating it's between 750 and 1,000 casualties just so far.
And they're still lowballing it. You see what I'm saying? They're still lowballing that number. We're not in the 700s. We're not in the hundreds to the 1,000. No, we're in the multiple thousands at this point. You see what I'm saying? We're multiple thousands in casualties at this point, man. The German hospitals have been overflowing. They had to shut down their major hospitals just to make room for all those soldiers. Okay, and now the German parliament is trying to kick out all these soldiers, man, and kick out the air forces, the military forces in every branch. You see what I'm saying? All right, because it's costing them more than they're gaining from this thing, man. You see? Spain has kicked them out. All right, nobody wants part in this. You see what I'm saying? So even with this admission, they're still lowballing these numbers, man. And that's how bad it is. All right? Now they're opening up restrictions for whatever, you know what I'm saying, marijuana usage, increasing the conscription numbers from the 20s to, you know, now the 40s. Now the you can be 42 and enter into this war. You see what I'm saying? The draft is coming, man. All right, the draft is coming. Prophecy is playing out.
To top it off, since the information has come out, CENTCOM has been completely silent now, going on for 30 hours. And now the president breaks his silence. giving them 48 hours to comply or else. Meanwhile, this list right beside me, this is a list of our equipment that was destroyed just yesterday alone. Maybe now.
Take that back a little bit.
30 hours. And now the president breaks his silence, giving them 48 hours to comply or else. Meanwhile, this list right beside me.
They took out F-15s, A-10s, all right. They took out all this military equipment, all right, billions of dollars worth. Billions of dollars worth, man. Crazy.
This is a list of our equipment that was destroyed just yesterday alone. Maybe now all these military firings are making sense, especially with casualties, possibly in the thousands. They never tell us the truth. And now we have Israelis, of all people, begging for a ceasefire and throwing protests right in Israel. And we know Russia has made many threats since this began, especially if anything nuclear happened in Iran, that they would nuke the place they're fighting. And after.
As a matter of fact, China just, a Chinese spokesperson just came out and said, if Israel drops that N-word on any nation, including Iran, then they will be obliterated. And that will be the end of them. You see what I'm saying? That will be the end of them, man. So, you know, this thing is about to pop off, man. How close is that MOTB? How close is that hour of temptation, man? Because we are right at the door. We are right at the door, man. You know, within 48 hours, how many times can this taco guy, you know what I'm saying, continue to bring out 48 hours within the next 48 hours, 72 hours, all right, extended to 5 days. You got this time, you got this amount of time, that amount of time, you know what I'm saying? You can't keep kicking the can down the road, man, all right? Something finna happen.
The Iranians have shut down every single ceasefire deal. 48 hours until all hell breaks loose. What about you? Do you think that we should be in Iran right now?
You know what I'm saying? Even MAGA is split down the middle with this, man. You know, it's just getting bad, y'all. Check this out. All right, and they've caught a U.S. fighter pilot, okay, and you know, this is what's causing all these generals to openly defy the administration. All these generals, okay. These jokers fired at least 5 admirals. I think it was like 3 admirals and 3 generals. All right, and 1 chief of staff. You see? Yo, them sand niggas was waiting for his ass. They was waiting for his ass. You know what I'm saying? And they've been putting the military, the captured military prisoners of war on display in Iran. You know what I'm saying? All right, parading their asses, man, showing their rank, okay, showing who they are. All right. I can only imagine being this guy's wife or kid, you know what I'm saying, here in the United States, looking at their father or their husband, you know what I'm saying, looking at their son on TV, looking at their brother on the TV, looking at their best friend, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine the fear that must be engulfing them right now, seeing this video.
Give your name and rank, please.
Colonel David William Heberly.
What's your nationality, David?
United States.
What's the kind of your plane and which squadron?
F-15 from the 4th Tactical Fighter Wing.
Where's the base of that squadron?
In Al-Kharj,
And where's that?
Central Saudi Arabia.
What was your target in Iraq?
Scud missiles and associated chemical facilities.
And how were you shot down?
I don't know.
David, how were you injured in the neck, please?
I believe it was during the ejection or when I hit the ground.
Dang. All right, so this has caused all branches of the military to no longer respect the Secretary of War, so to speak. All right. No branch of the military respects this guy, Pete Hegseth. Nobody. All right. And the morale in the military is completely plummeted. You know what I'm saying? This is Isaiah chapter 51. No, not Isaiah, Salakia. Jeremiah chapter 51. And let's get verse 30. Jeremiah 51 and 30 reads, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken." You see, nobody wants to take part in this thing, man. Nobody wants to fight this meaningless war, you know what I'm saying, for these Amalekites, man. All right? Let's see what it says in the NLT. All right. In the NLT, it reads, "Her mightiest warriors no longer fight. They stay in their barracks. Their courage is gone. They have become like women. The invaders have burned the houses and broken down the city gates," and that's what's coming next. That's what's coming next, man. America is going to be penetrated, man. Okay, you got all these people who have been having dreams and visions of America being invaded. Okay, Chinese soldiers, Russian soldiers. You know what I'm saying? All right, you got brothers that's in this truth. All right, and you got Jake, and you have ordinary everyday people who are having these same dreams. You see? The NIV, it says, "Babylon's warriors have stopped fighting. They remain in their strongholds. Their strength is exhausted. Their strength is exhausted. They have become weaklings. They have become weaklings. Her dwellings are set on fire. The bars of her gates are broken." Let's listen to this video here and we'll close it out.
A tremendous propaganda machine going on in this administration to try to convince the American people that having no rules in warfare is the right thing. It is absolutely the wrong thing. It does not reflect the American values about respecting other people and independent of their nationality, their religion, their color. We follow the rule of law, but this administration is not doing that and is basically saying there are no rules. That is wrong. I want every listener to understand that. And by the way, one other important thing that I've done on other shows with you is, what can the average listener do? Well, I'll tell you what. You need to call your senator or your representative and to, quite frankly, express your concern about the situation, to be very specific about extracting Americans, civilians from the Middle East. And that number, by the way, to call the Senate, and all you do, it's automated. You just put in your state, and then you get down to your senator and or your representatives. And I would like to give it to you. It's 202-224-3121. Again, 202-224.
That's not going to change nothing. That's not going to change anything, man. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 15, man, because this is coming. It's coming. All right. This civil war is coming. You know what I'm saying? The degradation of the society is coming. You know what I'm saying? That That false flag is coming. It's about to go down, man. 2 Ezra 15, verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time, man. These Egyptians are going to fight against Egyptians, as is written in Isaiah the 19th chapter, 2nd verse. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to regard their kings, their princes, man. You're seeing the breakdown amongst command. You know what I'm saying? All these generals, these admirals, these colonels, everybody's getting fired. Everybody's being released. You know what I'm saying? Okay. This place is falling apart. And we're in that time, man, that beautiful time of seeing our enemies coming, falling to pieces, man. All right? Many who came before us had hoped, all right, and longed to see this day, and we're blessed and we're able to see it. So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.